In places like the Helena Valley, there's been a long history of subdivisions built using exempt wells, relatively small water users that don't need to go through the full process of securing a water permit. But opponents say the cumulative effects of those smaller wells has been harming longtime water rights holders.
There isn't an opportunity for other water users to get notice and potentially object to any things that might infringe on their water rights. So that's really an important piece.
Carly Johnson is State Affairs Coordinator for the Montana Farm Bureau Federation, one of 9 plaintiffs suing the state and the Montana Department of Natural Resources and Conservation. They're arguing that there's been no tracking on how much impact exempt wells have had on other water users. For the Farm Bureau, a major concern deals with water shortages. When there's a shortage, users who have senior rights dating back decades are allowed to call users with more recent junior rights and demand they cut back their water use. But Johnson says exempt wells make it harder to enforce those calls.
Water rights are a private property right, and those private property rights are in context of all the other water rights in the system. And when a portion of the water is being allocated outside the system, it affects everyone. And most of all, it affects the resource. And in agriculture, it's very important to us to be good stewards of our resources.
Other plaintiffs include the Montana League of Cities and Towns, which argues exempt wells are depleting aquifers and threatening municipal water supplies, and conservation groups which say exempt wells are harming stream flows. This is far from the first time the exempt well policy has gone to court. It was one of those lawsuits in 2024 that led to DNRC changing its interpretation of combined water use, leaving several subdivisions in limbo, as we reported about 2 weeks ago. With the demand for housing in Montana still so high, I asked Johnson if getting rid of the exempt well option might make it harder for construction to keep up.
The intent is to incentivize responsible development that goes through the proper process. And if your usage of water really isn't impacting anyone, it shouldn't be difficult to get a permit.
A spokesperson for DNRC told me they're reviewing the legal challenge, but they won't comment further on active litigation. In the Helena Valley, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.